Dave said we had some breaking news, and the NBA has laid down their law. They came back, and Adam Silver, he said he was going to wait till after the finals. He literally waited till after the parade concluded and woke up this morning and said, boom, Ja Morant, take these 25 games and hold that. So now we know that Ja Morant will be suspended for 25 games starting the next season. And Dave, what's your take on that?
This is exactly what I expected. This is exactly what I expected. We talked about this yesterday in the back studio after the show was over yesterday. And I was basically explaining, I was like, well, the NBA would be stupid to give him anything less than 20 to 25 games. Um, because for one, in the NBA, they have a new rule in the CBA that anyone that doesn't play at least 65 games cannot be a part of any all NBA team, not eligible for any supermax. And plus, he had already got suspended for 8 games by the team. I understand it wasn't by the NBA, but his team is in the NBA, so it kind of makes sense to not give him anything less than 20-25 games. Plus, there were reports that came out before that the NBA and the NBA Players Union had already agreed upon this suspension.
Mhm.
So even if he tried to appeal, what defense was he going to get? Because this was not a legal issue, because he didn't do anything illegal technically, because he didn't really. I guess, like I said, no one got hurt in the situation. It's where he was at, it's legal to carry, so it's not as if it was a legal issue. But this is you work for a private entity. That's like if where I work at full time and they see that I'm brandishing guns and doing all this other stuff, you think they're going to be associated with me? No, it may not be on their property, but this is well known. They see this. They don't want that kind of representation that they work for. So that's what the NBA did too. They was like, well, look, you said that you were going to change, that you were going to do better, and you clearly didn't do that. Less than 3 months after you got suspended, and you went to a drive-in, a drive-through therapy, that you were going to do good. When most therapies take about a minimum of 30 days to be committed to say that there was some change, and
Mhm.
you went for a week. So that automatically says that there's not going to be much change. So they said, well, since you pretty much play with us, we're going to make sure that we play with you, kind of, sort of. And you're not going to be able to play for the first 25 games of the season. So I say it's deserved. It's deserved. There's not much he can really do to fight this, because he knew what he did was wrong. And he had came out with a statement and pretty much saying that he hurt a lot of people, but we heard that before too. So my only thing is, just please do what you said you're going to do. Save your career. Don't put yourself down this line to where you end up not playing another game in the NBA again, because you are still given another opportunity. I think the next time, if this happens again, more than likely you're going to be suspended for the entire season. So that's
That's
my
true.
thoughts on it.
That's true. I mean, we've talked about this countless and countless times before, and I'm gonna just answer Steven's comment here. So they basically suspended him for what he did last year when he in the off season when he held the gun up in his friend's live video. That's what they're suspending him for. Is more so kind of a counter action, or what I say, yeah, it's a counter action to his reaction to him being suspended, about him going to therapy and then doing the interview with Jalen Rose and saying that he wanted to be here for his teammates and he wanted to be a better person and just a better player. But then yet again, we have him displaying that he did not listen. So this is why the NBA is laying the hammer down. But I also agree with you though, Dave. Like when you work in a private industry, they can make up their own rules. I was literally just having a conversation with Ricky about this, who be on the boxing episodes, and
Mhm.
we were just talking about the difference between working for a public company and a private company. And again, if you work for a public company, they're shareholders. So when you do certain things, they react towards how the shareholders react. When you work for a private company, they more so make up the rules as they go. And we
Mhm.
all remember the pandemic. A lot of places were closed down. However, there were private industries that were still saying people had to come into work because they don't operate off of that mandate. So when you
Facts.
think about it like that, that's what the NBA is saying. Like, okay, of course, it's legal to carry. It's legal to do whatever you want when you're in the house. However, when you're associated with our brand, no matter where you are, if you're off the clock or on the clock, You're still a representation of us.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, Gilbert Arenas got suspended for bringing guns into the locker room. You held up 2 guns, toys or not. And if it was a toy, you should have said something in the moment.
Exactly.
They may have gave you a little leniency, but you didn't. You waited till after the fact. Now you got to wait till after 25 games to come back. So, Ja, hopefully this is one of those things where you just wake up and understand that, hey, man, this money is, it can be gone tomorrow. Like you could be swimming in the pool like Scrooge McDuck, or you could be out here saying, what the beep, you know? So just hopefully you get it together, man.
Yeah, hopefully you get together, man. I mean, we want to make sure that you guys understand that your career is on the line when you do certain things, and you got to do better. John Morant, I'm hoping that you learn from this and you actually do everything you need to do because you're a black man, you're a father. There are a lot of things that I want you to do. You're a young man at that, and I just want you to be successful. Plain and simple. You're a great player to watch. I enjoy watching you play. It's not that you're not intelligent. We know you're intelligent. That's the thing. We hear the things that you say. We hear how you articulate some of the things that you talk about. You're an awesome kid. You're an awesome young man. Represent yourself that way. That's all that I want. Just represent yourself the correct way and be you.
Fact.
Be you, the best you possible.
Factoroni.
And now I'll go ahead and talk first about my man. So you go ahead and ask the questions.
Hey man, I just want to know because we talking about next season, man.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.